Slowly, steadily, but with great pride, we move towards 100 episodes. We're at 92 on business and leadership stories. Sachin Mandari from the Story Co comes in, and he has been for 91 weeks now, tells a genuine, true story, either from his own life or from somebody else's life. And at the end of that story, we gain an important marketing and communication tip from him. My name is Hrishi K, and we come to you every Tuesday, 8 to 8:30 a.m., Mumbai, Delhi, Bengaluru, Chennai, on 94.3 on the FM band. And a day later, on Wednesday, we're in video form on the Mint YouTube channel. Sachin, how are you, my friend?
Very good, Rishi. As you can see, I'm trying to move to a studio so that I can keep talking to you with some light on my face and good sound as well.
Good sound as well. That's wonderful. Now, Sachin, for those of you who don't know, has put me on to many a fascinating Malayalam film, even though he isn't Malayali. He's an avid follower of South Indian cinema, in particular Malayalam cinema that comes out of Kerala. Malayalis Malayalis loving their cinema have also managed to captivate him with their aura. This is Rekhachithram, a Malayalam language
Yes,
movie, which apparently you saw and you were greatly
yes.
influenced by. So tell the story, please.
Yeah. It's probably the best movie I've seen this year till now. Of course, I'm hoping for more interesting movies this year. So it stars this fellow called Asif Ali, who is now become like the standard cop in Malayalam cinema. Every movie where there's a cop who's playing the lead role or the lead character rather is a cop, it's Asif Ali who's roped in, and it's always a disgraced cop who gets a case and then he has to solve the case, something to that effect. But here the case is super duper interesting. It's actually a girl who went missing from the sets of an actual Malayalam movie, which was released, I think, in 1985 or 86, starring none other than the star Mammootty. It was called Kathodu. I'm sorry if I'm not getting the name right.
Well, I'm
I'm
Tamil, but I will still attempt this very bravely.
Kathodu
Kathodu
Kathoram.
Kathoram. Okay, just leave it there.
Kathodu Kathoram. Yeah, Kathodu Kathoram. So the movie is real, and everything about that movie is real. But this genre is called speculative fiction, where they've inserted a fictitious story into a real happening, right? So there's this girl who's missed from the sets, who goes missing from the sets of this particular movie, and now he has to retrace and figure out what happened 40 years ago to find who actually murdered her, what happened to her, etc., etc. So it's super duper interesting. But as you watch the movie, you watch the story unfold in front of your eyes, you realize that while it's a fantastic murder mystery and it keeps you hooked till the very end, it's actually not a murder mystery. It is a love letter to Malayalam cinema of the 80s, about Mammootty, the technicians, the script writers, what used to happen on the sets, etc., etc. So people who absolutely love the craft of cinema and not just watching the movie in the theater for entertainment purposes would absolutely love watching this movie. And what I found really interesting about the director's approach is that if he made a movie about the craft of cinema or about the love for cinema itself and its technical details, etc., people would have not been so interested. The audience for that kind of a movie would be very limited and probably done in film festivals or those kind of circuits, etc. But he decided to wrap the story of Malayalam cinema around a fantastic murder mystery, which has gotten everyone interested. But the core audience to whom he wants to talk to, that still finds the message that they want to, eke out or extract from that particular movie. So that's what I found fascinating about Rekhachithram.
The fact that this is a movie within a movie. That's one of the main reasons why Phantom of the Opera has been running from the early 80s and has been successful on Broadway as well as the West End, both sides of the Atlantic, and even in India. It had a fabulous run very recently at the NMACC. It's because in the Phantom of the Opera, they tell the story of an opera while it's being rehearsed. And I feel that's
Okay.
very fascinating by itself as a storytelling tool. So, what is the marketing or communication tip that we can gauge from this movie called Rekha Chitram, a Malayalam language film?
Something that I've touched upon earlier also in our show. is that if you are a leader, if you are somebody who leads a team, if you are somebody who's trying to sell a product, concept, idea, etc., a lot of times we sort of get too obsessed with the space that we operate in and the kind of uh, technical details of the space that we operate in, and we forget the fact that the audience may not be interested. So even if the audience is relevant from a buying perspective or a call to action perspective, they may not be interested in the details. So that's why it's made interesting if you can look at wrapping your message around an interesting story. Can you narrate something which is related to technology by using cricket as an analogy, or using Bollywood as an analogy, sport, food as analogy, etc. And that's how you will be able to deliver your message a lot more effectively to the audience that you want to talk to, but also at the same time be able to make your message a lot more universally relevant. So that's my message or communication tip for today. Wrap your message around interesting stories, which don't get too technical in nature for a general audience.
Use the power of analogies. Now, tell us about your Win with Stories newsletter. Also, if people were to reach out to you to help founders and executives navigate leadership, sales, PR, and fundraising, where can they reach out to you, my friend?
Fairly simple, Rishi. I run a community called Story Club. We meet every Saturday from 10 to 11:30 a.m. online on Zoom. If anyone is interested in practicing and improving their storytelling skills to achieve more success in career, business, and life, you can go to my LinkedIn, look for Sachin Bhandari, and once you find me on my profile, there's a link which says "Get in touch" or "Stay in touch." Click on that. You can either register for a meeting, or if you think that you need me to come and help your team get better in terms of sales, leadership, communication, etc., then I can come in and run programs for you. Yeah,
Wonderful. And we're going to see you back next week on Business and Leadership Stories right here on Radio 1 and Mint. Take care of yourself.
look forward to it.
94.3 Radio 1.